Good evening and welcome to Transformers the Show, episode 261. We are joined this evening by the imperious, the impeccable Spider-Father, who is very kindly agreed to step in. As you may have noticed, we don't have Paul. He's away for the weekend, having his own life. We've tried having words with him about it, but we've not got anywhere. I'm joined, as always, by my two other co-hosts, Jamie and Pete. And we will be running you through all of the regular news pickups. Our foreplay is all about our favourite jet modes in Transformers. And we have a discussion where we're going to focus on positivity in the Transformers community and how we can add to that positivity as well. But as always, we shall start. Oh, and before I forget, I nearly forgot. Pete will be filling you in with some information about the fundraising that the show is going to be doing as well. Can't forget that one.
And we'll discuss some of the Haslab stuff as well, a bit more.
Yes, probably, because that's what we usually do. Here we go.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Right.
You lost Pete, guys.
Yeah. He's gone. He's gone. He's down. Finally.
I've had enough.
He's just a voice now. It's the excitement of seeing the Haslab reveal. So this really got leaked out kind of before it was supposed to be, but we're used to that now. So lots of people speculated on this. Quite a lot of people guessed that it would be Liokaiser from Victory, and it is. And here it is. Now there are tons of photos of this thing. There's also some photos from I forget what the thing is that they're revealing this out, but there's some photos of it, actually the grey model as well, coming up. But firstly, are we all excited about it? And secondly, what do we think of the price, which has drawn, it's fair to say, quite a lot of criticism so far?
Go for Spider-Father.
I really like it. I mean, Liokaiser is one of those figures that crams so much into it, because you've got a combiner team that's also a deployer, which is also a target master, and then you get 6 of them, or 7 if the tiers get hit. And as far as the price, 250, 300 was what I was throwing around this morning, and 300 is what it is. So it's not more than what I was expecting. I was dreading it was going to be like 500 quid.
Jamie, you were going to say something as well?
Yeah, basically on the lines of Spider-Father, obviously it's Best Formers, which is hilarious, the name itself. Then it's Best Force, because I said that to Malin a couple of times. He said, "You shouldn't say that, Jamie. You can't say that." And I said, "But it's a news, Malin. We've got a duty to our fans."
Talk about breasts. I'm afraid that's just the way it is.
And of course, Hasbro have turned it into Chest Formers, haven't they, or Chest Force as well. But I'm excited. It's 6 wonderful figures, shagadelic colors, just the luminosity coming from these things are just amazing. You want to put them in your mouth, they look like sweets. I wouldn't advise it. But they just look majestic.
I wouldn't advise it with chest beasts, because you'll choke.
Yeah, I was going, children, if you're watching, please don't put these things in your mouth.
There's a lot. Actually, I'm not going to say that. Nearly fell for that, but quick-witted Jamie saved myself. But yes, I do think the price is spot on from what everything you get in comparison to like the Haslab G.I. Joe stuff and other Haslabs I've seen before. Pretty expensive for Transformers, not expensive for Unicorn, but from all you're getting, if the tiers all matched, that's the way I'm looking at it. It's pretty spot on for price. £299 in the UK, $299 in USA. And about, was it €349 for the EU? Yeah,
it's £305 though in the UK, because they put a £5 surcharge on it.
So not if you're a premium member.
But a lot of people aren't, and so it's 305 for the majority. It's the premium members who get it £5 cheaper. And the problem is, that it does look very good, but ultimately, even if you reach that other tier, you're still only getting what is it 5 deluxes and 1 Voyager plus the little breast.
They're calling all of the deluxes Voyagers because
Yeah, but
no one's taking a
It's a mate of
to
plastic.
it, and they are deluxe height.
I call my dog a cat. Doesn't make it a
exactly.
cat.
Well, I think when it comes to height, I can definitely appreciate where Hasbro's coming from. So yes, you know,
Deluxe
Well,
Jamie. Sorry,
especially
Voyager.
guys.
Minor Wars one, you got 4 remolds and a Voyager remold, and that was about 150 quid. For double that, you're getting accurate figures with the breast figures. Plus, if the tiers happen, you get a free one. Effectively, I mean, I'm sure they've priced it to include the cost of making that. But if you were a marketing guy, you say you get one free. Really, they're cheaper.
Don't fall for it, Lee. You're not getting
If you want a G1 Liokaiser, it's going to be if you want a G1 Liokaiser, that's at least £1,000. So
it's like buying a car, they chuck in a spare tire, and you say, "Oh, thank you, that's free, is it?"
Anyway, I've ordered twice, so
I bet you have.
Of course you have. Just out of interest, how much was the completed Iron Factory one?
Well, they were about £35 each, and there's 7 of them. So let me do the quick math. 35 times 7, 245.
Correct.
with individual postage.
So it's not really that far out.
Since we added the postage of £5 for non-premium members.
But we're assuming that these will be of the standard of the Iron Factory ones, and all we've seen is renders so far.
Well,
So
the Iron Factory ones are simpler, and their proportions are closer to the anime. These are definitely toy proportioned rather than show proportioned.
The other thing we got to see some more of was Devastator, but we are going back to Liokaiser, so don't worry about it. I just couldn't be bothered to download all the photos all over again to get everything in the right order. But anyway, here's Devastator. We got the grey model of the whole thing, and as you saw in the previous photo, they have put out some colour. I don't think they're renders. I think the actual bot. But anyway, we've seen it in some colour as well. There has been some gnashing of teeth about the backpack, which is made up of that kind of other half of long haul that they've chucked in there. I don't think it's that egregious, but does anybody disagree? Anybody got a major problem?
I need to see it from the side before I can give a true verdict.
Well, hang on, I might have a photo for you yet.
It's not visible from the front, which is where most people are going to be looking at it.
Exactly. And
Devastator's always had a bit of dump in the trunk, so I'll let that pass.
Yeah, baby got back, and fair enough. You know, you've got to accept these things sometimes. Otherwise, it looks pretty good.
I'd say so.
Again, some people saying they're going to stick with their Combiner Wars version, which is perfectly fine. If you're happy with the one you got, you don't need to get this one. Personally, I think it looks a little better.
Oh,
not a lot.
Combiner Wars version, but yeah.
I mean,
what, that bending elbows?
One of Unite Warriors one has got a prow head, so that's my prow Devastator, which means I need a Devastator.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, the arms hanging out at the back there aren't necessarily the best because they just seem to be hanging, but maybe that's mistransformed. Yeah. And anyway, we're coming up to the backpack now. You're going to get a bit more of a view of it, Jamie. Get a good look at that.
Well, it's shelf space. I mean, it's not very good, is it?
You know what, though? If I can forgive the Armada Prime, I can forgive this.
Does it need to be attached, or is it part forming? Could it be disattached?
I don't know at this point. I mean, it's attached there, so I'm guessing it needs to be part of it. It's part of how you combine it, but
because I just wonder how it will affect the balance when you haven't got that heavy thing pushing.
Well, the photo said it's standing fine, but we don't know how supported it was. Kind of, was it on a little stand thing? Or
as long as you don't breathe, and it's diverse.
There it is. Take a good look at his Devastator bot. It's right there.
Also, we don't know how much support that bit is giving to Hook. Because usually the chest and the waist can be a bit of a funny connection on some Devastators, so that might be adding extra stability.
True. But yeah, overall, I think it's looking pretty good. They also showed off some official. Well, we've had official product shots of Hook and Long Haul's 2-pack.
And I think Indie Man Toys might have this for display tomorrow.
I think so. Yeah, I'm sure they said they had some of them.
Proper look at it then.
If you haven't seen Prime versus Prime review stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't had those two yet, though, has he? I thought he just had Scrapper. He had Scrapper. I've watched the Scrapper review. I haven't seen the other one.
Yeah.
But maybe he does. Maybe I've missed it. Yeah, I've been busy.
Sculpt.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they look bad. I know people have criticised like gaps and stuff. I don't think they look bad.
Well, if the photographer had put Hook's shoulder flaps down, there'd be less complaints.
Get him told, Lee. Jamie would have picked up on that. I guarantee you that.
Jamie wouldn't have picked up on that. Jamie would have posted it like that. You told me. Then I would have had a big time trying to fix it.
With your 40-40 vision, that's not going to get past you, Jamie. Don't you be silly. Anyway, there's some nonsense I saw about people criticising the artwork because it might have involved AI. I don't know, but it looks all right. It looks good, and I'm not worrying about all that nonsense right now. I'm here for the toys.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Liokaiser.
Because you hear good artists getting accused of AI, and I've seen some artwork which is obviously AI, and then they say it's not. So it's pretty hard out there this time.
Yeah.
Screws. Yeah. That's the kind of quality construction.
Yeah. I love them. They're great.
Pins. Love it.
That's a great head sculpt. Backpack is fairly clean considering. I've certainly seen worse. Devastators, for example. I don't mind Devastators, though. I don't mind it.
The thing we need to know, though, at the minute is whether his waist and thighs are a separate piece, because it's hard to see where they fit into Jaguar.
Yeah. Well, there's a comparison with Devastator in terms of height and things.
I don't mind if they've got an extra piece and it gives us a decent articulation. I don't mind that. I just want to know up front.
Yeah, surely we'll have another video coming out soon where they've got it like in hand to show us, or at least an early version of it, so we can get an idea of it. They've always done that with the other Haslabs.
Blockies would have done it by now.
You're right. We are 12 minutes in. Even Blockies. And Blockies would have had wonderful articulation and fantastic. Anyway, let's move on. Somebody just superimposed the coloured render next to the grey model, so you can see that there. Is that, Lee, you'll know, is that Death Cobra?
That is Death Cobra, although it's a very innovative way of getting him into the combined mode. I'm hoping he can also become a limb, probably an arm.
I would have thought so. Is he the first tier, Jamie, or is he the later on?
Oh, he's the first tier, I think, isn't it? Because after that, there's a second tier, which isn't too exciting because it's just weapons, and then the third tier is like a stand, which should be set default, really. So
yeah,
but it's the first tier. But I kind of like it. It's the first tier. It's like it's obviously designed to make people push for it. And Transformer fans, true Transformer fans, we are pushing for it.
Well, I love Transformer fans have managed to fund every single one of our Haslabs. Star Wars fans can't say that.
You're right.
Marvel fans can't say that.
We are absolutely great.
We are gullible.
Yeah, that too.
Gullible mugs, drink us like coffee.
I know that like after like an hour and a half, it had already gone over 2,000 backers, and it only needs to hit 10,000. So I mean,
wow,
I'm
this
not
thing's going to get
the least bit worried that it will fund. I reckon it will definitely fund.
Yeah.
So yeah, Liokaiser, whatever.
I've already got a list of people I'm willing to sacrifice to make this happen. So.
Brilliant. Nobody asked. He's just got the list. Then there was this, which is a Hearts of Steel 2-pack, and I think we're getting another one later on, which we also have photos of the prototypes. So this is the Optimus Prime and Starscream 2-pack. So if you know the Hearts of Steel comic book series, then you will recognize these.
Cara Tommy almost have me. I mean, I look at it and I go, oh, it's awful. And then I look at it again and I think, oh, it's nice. And then I just don't know. I
mean, it's
you were right
impressive considering that the only other versions of these toys are really expensive third-party figures. And
correct.
They are mass-produced and they look great. Well, I think they look great.
It's just, I don't know.
Look, if you're not into the aesthetic and the design, then
It's a bit of Takara cultural appropriation of British steampunk aesthetics.
I can't look at the train and not just think Thomas.
Yeah,
Like one of his-
that's all I went. Yeah.
cultural
And the-
appreciation.
No.
I'm hoping he's got like a little hitch, so if they keep making more, you can have an Autobot train with more lined up behind him.
I mean, Starscream. I'm not even sure what type of plane that's supposed to be, but anyway, he is some kind of plane. It comes in an ice box.
It's like a biplane.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll take your word for it. Not like any.
Well, just because it's got a propeller, that's what he means.
I mean, it's got a propeller. Yes, it's a biplane. Having said that, we forgive so much in Transformers. We can probably forgive that. Anyway, the box looks nice, and it's. I guess it might be a nice display piece as well, especially if they're doing more of them. You can have a little.
It's definitely unique, isn't it?
It's definitely that. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that. I will say now, as we're going through, I had to cut down on photos because we'd have been here all night otherwise. So then they had some, just like the warp gate reveal things they do. So this is Excellion, Cybertron Excellion, based off the Hotshot mold that we've already had. So it's like a repaint in more hot rod like colors. So there's that. We are getting I was going to say Noise Maze then, but that's his Japanese.
Yeah. Sideways.
No, Sideways, as he was in Cybertron, which I'm excited about because I like the character in the original toy. I'm hoping they don't do him dirty. And he's
I'm already thinking repaints because you've got the white version, which was the majority of the Planet X's population, and a Rat-Bat.
Yeah, it's been used for other toys have been used for Rat-Bat, haven't they? That particular figure. Then we're getting a 2-pack of what looks like Sandstone with stubble and a Slug Slinger. So
they could have just had a swappable head. But now they're just making me buy it again, aren't they? They're just
I'm really interested to see what is this going to be the Slug Slinger we've previously had. That was obviously fairly difficult to pick up for some people. A lot of people never even saw it. Or is this going to be a new mold? If it's a new mold, I'm going to have to buy it because I love Slug Slinger.
I reckon it will be a remold of the first one because Hasbro's been trying to put out figures which were hard to get, like Cosmos and Ramjet and all of those.
Yeah.
But it will have a new faceplate and it will come with a Battle Master and it will be toy colours. And I think
it'll have to be good to replace my Takara.
Yeah. What does one do with a Takara?
Wait, Jamie, do you have Takara toys?
Yeah.
You never...
I know how you mentioned it.
Then we're getting an Iron Fist and Carnivac 2-pack.
This is 6. This is 6.
This is 6.
If you're under 18,
good,
leave now. But this is good. This is what we're here for.
But what's Carnivac going to look like? Is he going to be like a hybrid?
Yeah.
Or is he going to be his Cybertronian form? What's he going to be?
We won't get. I'll be stunned if we actually get a pretender. Overjoyed, but I'd be stunned if we actually get a pretender version. I think it's going to be a hybrid, as we've seen with other ones. Could still be cool though. The Devastation toys continue, so we're getting a couple of the, I suppose, drone type toys, the Aerial Warrior and the ground-based one, but that was basically like Runabout and Runamuck, just their body type. And as you see, one of the Coneheads, is it Ramjet? I can't tell. But one of them. We're getting a 2-pack of them anyway. So if you liked Optimus Prime from Devastation,
it's an army builder pack. It's going to be expensive. It's going to annoy me.
How many are you going to buy, Lee?
4.
Of course you are. Why not, eh?
Well, actually, 4's an unlucky number this year, so you should go for 6.
No, 4. I've got to be consistent.
That's why it's unlucky.
Perceptor, we knew we were getting this pack. I think it's Studio Series, isn't it? Perceptor, that's going to come with Rat-Bat and Ramhorn. An excuse to make us buy Perceptor again.
Yeah, well played, Hasbro. Well played.
I've already got him twice.
Give him a toy head and I'll buy it.
Yeah, give us a
toy head. I will. I'll take it.
Don't give him his toy head. Ignore them.
It'll be the toy head. And then
these look good.
These are the other 2-pack. of Megatron from Hearts of Steel and Bumblebee from Hearts of Steel. So, discuss.
I love
I
that. I've
think
not
it looks
seen these
good.
before. This is the first time I've seen them, and they look fantastic.
I just, they look awesome.
No, yes.
Megatron turns into a cannon. We've never had a cannon figure
He
before.
does. Yes, I have got a photo of the alt mode coming up. He does literally turn into a field cannon.
It's probably better suited for a Galvatron steampunk figure, but I think it looks
Head
sexy.
sculpt's good. Head sculp's
Yeah.
good.
Undoubtedly.
good.
And
Oh,
I am
comic.
I am aware of the comic. I've got a couple of issues somewhere in a box. I'd say it looks quite a lot like you did.
Big time. Big time. I mean,
Yeah, I think it looks good. I want to see the alt modes for.
Well, you will, because I
It'll
have
be a
photos of
sign
them.
that people will call ugly.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, you know the one we saw of Optimus Prime. Well, you hang on.
Actually, it's smaller and yellow.
Yeah. But it's wonderful, and a good head sculpt on Megatron.
A bit rough there, though, in his face. He's got like acne.
You
or
think?
something.
I think that's just the plastic. And there's the cannon mode for Megatron.
Oh, look at that! Oh,
Is this the Indian version?
For the life of me, I can't figure out where his legs have gone. It's a mystery. Absolute mystery.
It's not a big 12 pounder like a British cannon. Yeah.
Not big 12 what? You said 12 bender. What are you referring to? I think it looks good. Yeah.
but it's similar to his gun mode because someone's going to have to pick him up and wheel him around so that he can aim.
Exactly.
But the cannon should be bigger. I think they should have done something to make the cannon bigger.
The artwork's nice on the box again. Really good artwork. I'd love to find out who the artwork's by for these because it looks really good. There is Bumblebee's alt mode.
Choo choo!
Choo choo, mother truckers. And there's a closer shot for you.
So in the comics, are they stuck just moving on tracks, or can they actually move on land?
They
They-
predominantly move on tracks, I think.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they can transform and walk around, but like if they're in vehicle mode, they pretty much need to be on tracks. That's kind of it's like the whole thing.
There are no roads at this point in the Earth history, so there's nowhere for them to drive.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
we'll
loads
get
of his tracks.
I'm assuming we'll get a shockwave out because the shockwave was quite badass. The design for it, it was like a battleship, armored battleship thing. It was.
Yeah,
We had a
apparently
third
somebody
party one.
mentioned it at the panel, and Evan
Oops.
said he knows exactly what you're talking about, but he's not committing to anything.
We shall see. Right, we'll move on because you saw it there. Earlier, we got the reveals of this, which is the second wave, or some of the second wave of Age of the Primes, and this is Skybite. Again, much excite for this. And
Thrilling 30s one
Heatwave.
was an exceptional toy, wasn't it? The Thrilling 30s
Heatwave
one.
looks great. He's like a proper rescue bot come to life.
The original, like, you're right. I mean, Heatwave, they've used the bulkhead mold really well for that. I think you could see that is the character. The Thrilling 30s Skybite, a lot of people really love that toy, so I'm hoping this is improvement on it. But
Well,
if it
this
isn't,
one pretty
does
much
look
a
better.
redo of the Beast Wars toy, except it's actually straight. It's actually swimming forward rather than thrashing to the side or leaping out the water like the Thrilling 30 one. So this one is actually one that looks like he does in the show most of the time, where he's either chasing somebody or running away.
Yeah, I like Skype. I think it's good.
But if we get a
Appealing.
Cyber Shark repaint, that means we've had 4 Transmetal 2 figures updated and the Beast Wars roster increases.
Beast Wars, Pete. It was worth it just to see him shaking his head. No. Anyway, Heatwave. Yeah, a lot of people who enjoy rescue bots, who've got a special place for it, they're really pleased with him as well. Including
I'm
Ariana
not
Raven.
too impressed by Heatwave. I'm just not sure.
It's not my aesthetic, and rescue bots isn't really my thing. But I it's not aimed at me particularly, so that's fine if people like it.
But
Great.
it should be aimed at you, Andy.
It always should be aimed at me, Jamie. And I keep telling Hasbro that, and bizarrely, I never get a reply to my messages or letters or randomly appearing at their offices. There's the box anyway, looking good. And there's Heatwave. Right. Earlier in the week, Marclona shared photos of what do they call him again? He's not just Waspinator, is he? I'm sure there's a name for him. It's like Pursuit Waspinator or something. Anyway, he's the Bumblebee repaint and slight retool into Waspinator, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
This is your wheelhouse, isn't it, Pete?
I'm looking forward to him. Yeah, the Bumblebee mold that it's based on was excellent.
So we never did get the animated toy, did we?
No. Was the one in Japan?
No, it was planned for the next wave before they cancelled it.
Ah, that's it. Because he was a great character. If you've not watched animated and you've not seen the episodes with him in, he's a really well done character, I think.
And the green really pops. It's just so jazzy.
They paint the hubcaps. I love it when they paint hubcaps. I hate just bare wheels.
I mean, you can do that with it. It's great.
They are very potent.
Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. So, yep. You can see more of these photos and read Mark. Praise be to Mark. Sorry, forgot about that. You can read more of his description on Instagram if you go and follow Mark.
Does his waist look like the Waspinator toy there? Just looking at his waist there, it seems like it's. I've forgotten the name of that connection.
Mushroom peg.
Mushroom peg?
Yeah, it kind of looks like he could just
pop him in half. Maybe. Hasbro QC. Looks good in car mode. But,
no, it's just a swivel. Just a swivel.
Right, we will move on.
It's got a little bit. It's got a little bit of
There you go. Just like you, Pete. YOLO Park's Facebook have shown images of their BMK G1 Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Megatron, and Starscream prototypes, which are shown at the Nuremberg Toy Fair, and which we could have gone to. And also shown at Hong Kong Toys and Games 2025 event earlier, but we've now got kind of better pictures of them. So BML is the line, and it stands for Beginner Model Kit.
I'm just disappointed with YOLO Park in the sense I bought Optimus Prime, the Nemesis Prime, the Megatron. I've even got a Bumblebee, and then they bring out the painted models, and you're feeling like I've already invested quite a bit. Now I feel like I just don't want to buy this stuff anymore.
I don't think these look particularly great. They've only got 6 points of articulation, so I don't know. They seem much more simplified. I don't know if these are more aimed towards the younger market.
Yeah, I was thinking about the bigger versions, which they're doing as well for the.
Well, you stick to those ones. They're more like your classic blockies, aren't they? They're more for your refined collector than these.
You could argue, and we've said this before, that blockies have left YOLO Park behind.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit.
Yeah.
But I do still like YOLO Park if you're watching.
Not what the rest of them say.
Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, so this looks good. This is the black repaint we're getting of the recent Power Master Prime / Jinrai. So yeah, it looks good. It's not cheap, but it looks good. And you can't go wrong with the Black Prime. As Ali would say, you cannot go wrong with it. It looks really good.
It's such a good toy. The Jinrai, Super Jinrai is such a good figure. So having more than one is an easily justifiable decision.
Which is dangerous. This is available for pre-order on the 13th of this month, apparently. Oh, Takara.
I'm not sharing that comment time off because it's just mean.
Oh, Moth. The Mothman. Right. This isn't necessarily toy news, but courtesy of Sunbow and the Marvel Script Storyboard Archive, they've been putting information online, including some of Bob Budiansky's first notes where he was coming up with the characters for the Transformers. So there's some notes there. You can find these on TFW 2005 and I think also on cybertron.com if you want to kind of go and have a look later on. There's also pictures of the original designs, the sketches of the characters, and what they would look like, which obviously fed into the cartoon. And yeah, just descriptions of the characters, early stuff, some stuff that was dropped, and a lot of stuff that we'll recognize because it went in there. Bumblebee's nicknames Bee and Beeper. We all remember those.
Didn't Bumblebee actually have a code name as well in the original Marvel?
Possibly. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
Jazz here, apparently his nickname was Coolsville, which again we all remember. The amount of times he was called Coolsville.
Had they picked the NAF names, Transformers would still be as big today as it was now.
Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, Starscream would have been the Silver Snake. Which...
The immense work he did, though, you just can't appreciate it. You know, he had to do this under budget, fast, and the stats he was using, you know, so accurate. That's what really, I think, drew a lot of people in as well. The language used.
Yeah, Megatron here was his nicknames apparently were Master and Slagmaker. Another nickname for Jin. Right,
he's an Essex lad.
Soundwave doesn't get a nickname, interestingly. There. Anyway, you can read these to your heart's content later on if you want. Sorry, Lee, what are you going to say?
You wouldn't dare.
Anyway, remind me. Oh, this is that crossover thing, isn't it? So this is the upcoming Monster Hunter crossover with Transformers. This is Silver Rathalos. I hope I've said that right. Prime. And it's a silver and white redeco of the previously revealed Rathalos Prime. Pre-orders for this also go live in Japan on the 13th. And there's a better, clearer picture of it for you to have a look at. So, yeah.
No.
I've got a new section for the show. Pete's one-word reviews.
Enjoy it if you're buying it. However, it's a no.
It's not unusual for Takara to repaint their one-off weird things because they repainted the hats, they repainted the shoes. And I guess they're repainting this. But I asked my other half because he's played Monster Hunter and he's planning to get the game this is from. And apparently there's a dozen or so different coloured versions of this dragon thing. So I'm hoping they don't do tons of them.
I feel like you've just cursed it, Lee, but yeah. We shall see. This was a still from a cutscene from Transformers 1 that was shared, adding to the part. If you haven't seen the film, this is a bit spoilerific, but for God's sake, you should have seen it by now. But those of you who have seen the film, you know what's going on here. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not even going to explain it, just in case anybody hasn't, but you can figure it out for yourselves. And it would have added to it, but they decided it was a bit much, and they cut it from the film. Can't imagine why. The kids would have loved it. Who doesn't enjoy a bit of decapitation?
But that was a bit much, but it was okay to see Sentinel Prime being split.
Oh, yeah. Do you know, that's exactly what I thought the first time. I was like, what?
That was very important to the plot.
Yeah, it was, as he bathed in his blood.
Entails.
The tickets of TF Nation, as in August TF Nation, went up for sale last weekend, as we did tell you on Friday's show last week. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, then go and get them after the show again. And also, this one was missed off. This is one of the guest announcements was Sophia Miles, who played Darcy in Age of Extinction. And has also been in Thunderbirds and Underworld and a few other things like Doctor Who that we all might have seen. And she will be there. And
I just don't know if TF Nation can handle two attractive people in such close vicinity. Me and her, obviously.
This is really weird because I'm sure you said this last year about. So I just had a massive feeling of deja vu. I think we'll survive. I think we'll all find a way. Probably copious amounts of alcohol
touch and go.
There may be some touching and go, but probably avoid it because that's when the police get involved.
Who was the attractive person last year? I know I was there. I think
it was only me. Anyway, Transformers Eternal Wars via their Twitter account have shared another one of their CAD designs from the upcoming mobile game, and here's Jazz. Yeah. I
think, sorry to interrupt, I think C4 Darkman made a good point. If they're going to do more Takada specials, different painted monsters, they could have did at least different head sculpts for the robots.
Yeah,
you know, to make them unique.
But they might. Maybe that's what they will do. We just don't know at this point. But that's a good idea, C4 Darkman. Yeah, Earthspark, Deluxe, Hashtag, and Soundwave have been revealed.
Great.
Maybe it was shared by Comic
there, Ed. Well played, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's just some images of them, and
Yeah,
Earthspark
Soundwave
fans will be excited.
Really, a lot of people really excited for that Soundwave. I'm excited for that Soundwave. Look how thin that gets once you've converted
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Reminds me of that Scourge from quite a few years back
Yeah.
now. God, how long ago was that? That was a long time ago.
Was that?
Because I'm old. And there it is in box. And there's hashtag, that's slightly different, isn't it, Lee? Is
It's
that right?
a whole new mold. So
Oh, is
I
it a
think
whole new mold?
it's a
Wow.
whole new mold because after discussion with lots of people online, we have decided it is an entirely new mold.
There you go. We don't need Hasbro to confirm it. We've got Lee. Thank you, Lee. Anyway, there it goes. Looks all right. And again, if you're an Earthspark fan, I bet you're probably pretty excited to get those picked up as soon as possible. We will go on to the MegaCon event that was happening or has been happening over the last couple of days, and I think over this weekend. And there's loads of photos. I'm going to go through them quite quickly, but if you spot something that really excites you or you want to comment on, please feel free. I may still keep moving on though. There's the Constructicons. Long haul with that bit that then hangs out his backside of Devastator.
It's good to see the wheels touching the ground there, so that's nice.
Very much so. Individually, I think they look all right. You know, for a £25 toy, I think that's what we all forget sometimes, is these are not expensive high-end things. It's a £25 toy.
The green could be a bit of a different
Although,
shade, I suppose.
I would argue £25 is still quite a lot.
Well, it is, but not by Transformers standards anymore.
Mm.
And you look at the price of Voyagers, then you go onto your Leaders, and then you go onto your Commanders, and then don't even get us started on the Titans. Or the most recent Haslab, for example. You know, 25 quid as a collector for a toy isn't that bad. It's cheaper now than Legends were. And Legends used to be the cheap things. Everybody said, wow, incredible the value you got for the engineering. That head sculpt is great.
The stand dressing is promoting Hasbro Pulse rather than Transformers.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And I have seen complaints from independent retailers this week about availability of stock for items which are still available on Pulse and then appearing in discount outlets without them ever seeing it.
Yeah. I think there's a bit, well, it seems like there's some shady goings on.
Well, I think it's like other independents I mentioned before, sometimes you just got to ride the storm, haven't you? Because, you know, people will change, staff move on, then you're dealing with like a new hierarchy again.
I know that a lot of independents are now getting more of them getting their stock from suppliers abroad rather than direct from Hasbro UK because their relationships with them have got a bit too strained. So, yeah, it's a shame, but they've got to do what they got to do to survive. Anyway, there's Devastator. We've already seen some photos of Devastator. We won't dwell on him. Everyone's favourite wheelie. Superion. Again, still looks good.
Yeah.
Silverbolt looks better each time I see it.
With his monobrow.
We saw loads of this last week, didn't we? So I think there's only one photo this time.
I think that's going to benefit from toy hacks.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit plain. I think it needs a bit more detail on it.
We've got Solus again, who still looks really good. And also we have Primer.
Again, he looks nicer every time I see him.
I don't know why, I just find the colour scheme bland. Just like greys. I don't know, just doesn't excite me. Good old Modo, and everyone's
Charlie's using an exclamation mark there. He's going, these Constructicons, he's half of a £90 set.
Well,
£90? He's not £90 for that set.
The box set.
yeah.
It's not 90 quid, is it?
Yeah.
Enderman got it for £87.99.
Bloody hell. Then in that case, I retract it. A rip-off, don't buy it. Let's all
Don't
boycott
worry,
Hasbro.
Charlie. Andy's used to being wrong. He's a pro.
Ha! I learned from the best, Jamie. I learned
Enough.
from the best.
The pair of you behave.
Oh, anyway, let's
another
crack on.
Tuesday.
Oh, wait. No, God, no. Oh, I nearly forgot. Right, let's do third-party news.
Battle this.
It's heavy metal cruncher time as Optimus Prime goes toe-to-toe with Combat Megatron. Prime is one tough dude underneath his hood. He's a transformer missile fun phenomenon. Combat Megatron is combat armed. His mighty mega missiles are slamming. He can metamorph and use mega force, but Combat Optimus is still standing.
Anyway, enough Hasbro stuff for third party. Let's have a look at these. So these photos were from friend of the show, Moff, and these show the. Now I always get the name of this wrong. Siang, am I saying that right? Siang Culture, Heidelberg. So this is their Scorponok, which Moff at Primetime Toys has managed to get some stock in for and took some photos. That's the Earthrise one behind it, right? So I don't know.
In between size.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks good, but I don't know about the size.
A Chug Voyager scale Scorponok with a Marvel head.
Yes.
And then we can leave Scorponok alone forever.
Exactly, that's what we need to.
Until they make another better one in about 5 years, and then we'll buy that one to replace it, because this is the way. I like it. I just, if you want to see how it scales against, I think that's their Metroplex, isn't it? I don't know. It just doesn't seem to quite fit in either way.
That's what we need for Scorponok's the size there of the Fortress Maximus, and we would be happy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'd be great to have something like that. But come on, Hasbro, you can do it. Anyway, so there's that, which is available, I think, for Primetime Toys. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, Hasbro. You can still call it Titan Class. Keep the price. We'll buy it.
Then we had this. This is DX9 Toys D18 Detective, their masterpiece scale Prowl, but this is a digibash of it in color because we only had the grey model to work from before. So, anybody think this would be something they'd want?
Yes. Yes, I think so. I think I'm going to get the side swipe, and I think I'd like to get the Prowl as well. Because I'm missing a masterpiece Prowl. And the side swipe does look really good.
DX9
so it's
some good stuff.
Yeah, it's a yes for me. And if it's a similar price, side swipe's about 65 quid. So
bargain.
If Prowl is of similar quality, 65 quid for a masterpiece is very reasonable.
It's certainly cheaper than, say, a Constructicon 2-pack. And there's that's just like a render of the car mode. There you go. Looking very good. Looking very prowly. Then we had more photos of Mechanical Skull Studios, Disaster White Star, which is their Universe Ramjet. And this looks pretty good still. It's a good mold. Very similar to the Hasbro one in what it does. But does it do it better? That's the question.
Pass me by. It's quite cool though.
I like it.
I'm just tired of buying updated Armada figures that don't have minicons that transform.
Yeah, the lack of minicons is starting to get a bit depressing, really. I don't know why they can't.
I mean, they've got like the alt mode for the minicon, but that's all it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think it transformed. Anyway, there you go. There it is. So that will be available soon, I'm sure, if it's not already up for pre-order. Non-F. They put a post on saying they had a bunch of fun stuff planned using Transformers blocky bases.
Yeah. This made me
interesting.
chuckle. American company doing third party based on Chinese.
US knocking off China.
Yeah. I just chuckling away. I meant share. No, I didn't block it. I didn't share. I made very strong post. How dare you?
It's the first sign of the apocalypse, and we're here for it. So there's that. Maybe we're going to get more. Well, I mean, there are third-party blockies out there. I'm sure somebody's, or knockoff, I should say. Somebody shared, was it John Borders Dude? Shared some photos of some. I'm sure somebody did, and they looked seriously knockoff. Very much the B&M type things.
Remember that blockies? Borders Dude shared knockoff.
Oh yeah. Sorry, John.
Yeah.
But he also loves and buys your products, so be nice to him. Right, and then there was this, which I don't... Lee, you may have more information on this, because I checked online on a few different sites, and I couldn't get anything more other than the following, which is that this is the colour prototype of the Wonderfest 2025 exclusive Beast Wars Rat Trap Garage Kit. It's got official permission to be sold during Wonder Festival 2025 on February 9th in Chiba, Japan. But the license only allows the kits to be sold at the convention, and they won't be available in any retail or online store after that. So you have to buy it at the convention. You'll never be able to get it again, according to this. And it's 7,000 yen, which is $46, and whatever that equates to in our money. But it's just like a model of Rat Trap, like in Beast Mode.
It's what they call a garage kit. So it's something that a fan has produced and then made several copies of so that they can sell.
Right.
And there's quite a few of these kits that have happened in the past. Usually it's just a fan picks a bit of the franchise and produces something. I think they've done a Diatlas action figure. They did a Minerva, like in her Headmaster armor figure before. So this is a tradition, really.
Right.
I don't know if Takara decides one person can do this every year at Wonderfest and they just pick one they like.
Yeah.
But it's
nice if they do.
Yeah, it's happened before, and it's interesting one.
It'll happen again. Right, we'll move on. Bingo Toys Jazzy, which is their masterpiece scale Jazz with the Lego alt mode. Again, this is from a Weibo user who I can't give credit to because I cannot read the language. But anyway, the nice photos of it. It still looks like it's made of Lego in alt mode, but I know some people do like that. That's fine. You're allowed. See you, Jazzy.
Order for it.
Wait, we'll set Jamie off. Stop it.
I did notice at the toy fair in Germany that a lot of them sort of Chinese companies seemed like obviously Blockies were showing custom figures done by fans, which is quite cool. You know, custom painting figures, and I think sometimes Hasbro must be missing a trick there.
Well, Lego do that. I mean, Lego show off fan made stuff all the time.
Yeah,
that's
We've done that. We've given Gundam kits to modelers, and they've created dioramas using the model kits, and then they've given them to us, and we take them to shows. So it's a good thing to add interest to your booth without costing an arm and a leg.
Definitely. Anyway, that's Jazzy. Here is the MB32 first test shot with the armor pieces that allow you to make it look more like the Pretender shell. Yeah.
I'm probably going to get that. I
do think if you're a fan of it,
like the Metal Hawk.
Yeah. And then there's all the bits so you can see how it all clamps to it. It's kind of a Pretender. I mean, he's not really a Pretender shell, but it's kind of a Pretender shell. Closer than Hasbro, bloody come. Sort it out, Hasbro.
Well, yeah, Hasbro. Copy this idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah, neat. Why not? Officially, you own it all anyway. And that's it.
Like this.
Thankfully, there wasn't a hell of a lot of third-party news, at least not that came across my radar. So, Hasbro, if you're watching, we love you. Right. So, shall we move on? No, we said after the news, we're going to have a little bit of input from Pedro. Once he's finished his drink.
Yes. Wet my whistle. So, last week we announced that 2025 is going to be the year that Transformers the Show try and assist fundraising in the community. We've chosen Mary's Meals as our charity this year. And for some unknown reason, it's not an unknown reason, I'm doing it for charity. I'm doing the Bracknell Half on May the 11th. I'm hoping that it's going to be a cool day and not a typical May Day. Everyone else is hoping it's going to be red hot. I appreciate that. But tonight, the donation link is going live. So no one is under any obligation to sponsor me. But if you feel that you're in a position to do so, whether it's 50p or whatever it is, we're going to go live with the link.
Fantastic time to launch it during the Haslab.
Yeah.
When everybody's no, but people can still find. I'm sure
at the same time as us. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll be sponsoring you, Pete.
Thank you, sir.
What do you think so?
So
You're buying two Haslabs. I can't afford it, Pete. I'm sorry.
You can't now.
Because I'm buying two Haslabs.
Money's tied up. What can I do?
So donation links going live tonight, but we're also, as the eagle eye will have seen watching the show, I'm modeling a new t-shirt with the new show logo. This will be available to purchase from tomorrow. Obviously, those of you that were at TFN last year on the Saturday night, we tried to get a bit of a thing going where everyone rocked up into the bar on Saturday night in your Transformers the Show t-shirts, and we'd love to try and get a similar thing going this year. But we've obviously got more of a chance to wear it at more conventions going forward. So the details for the t-shirt and other merch that we've got available will be going live tomorrow. All of the profits will be going towards Mary's Meals. It will all go in the pot that we're using to donate. So if you fancy a t-shirt, please go on.
My cat has just discovered how to open drawers and wardrobes now, and he's a bloody monster. I can deal.
What a tremendously random response to Pete's section.
I'm listening to Pete's very well pop, and I'm thinking, what stuff she's pulling out?
What's the cat stealing? Come back with that. Anyway, right. It's a very good cause, and obviously, let's be honest, Pete's doing most of the hard work here in the fact that he's doing the run. But, it would be lovely if people can contribute, and all the proceeds, all the kind of money made out of it, all goes to toy food.
And I think just my last point on it, just for context, Mary's Meals say about £19 feeds one child for one school year. So, as many £19 as we can raise means we can help a lot of kids.
Is there anything else we want to add, or is we going to be adding more stuff to this?
I think we're going to be adding more stuff, Jamie. It's a great point. And I think we've got till May.
Jamie's going to swim the channel, so we're all looking forward to that one as well.
And promise not to come back.
The French will send you back, don't you worry. My catapult. Just me and Pete on the beach running backwards and forward with the
when you travel by
Anyway. Right. Oh, old-timey comedy fun. Right, let's that's a great cause, and we will have more information. We'll put information onto the Facebook group, we'll share it on our social media and things so that people know where to go and to make their very, very kind charitable contributions. And again, well done to Pete for doing all of the hard work. Love it. Right, shall we do some pickups? I think we bloody should.
Yes, sir.
We now return to the Transformers.
Okay, so pickups. What have we picked up this week?
Question from Guzzy Hero. As we got there's a black t-shirt we had available, didn't they? He was asking if there's other colours available.
I would have said yes. I will get the merchandise manager to confirm back to you, Guzzy, as soon as that information is available.
Stay tuned. Right, let's crack on with some pickups then. Let's see. Lee, as our wonderful guest, would you like to go first?
Go on then. Let me share a screen with you.
Of course. Oh, I was about to add in somebody else's. There we go.
There we go. So you may have seen that I picked up a bump of chicken Crayola Prime this week, which has been getting a lot of comments from people. Some absolutely love it. Some can't understand why such a thing exists. But there it is. You can make your own decisions on whether you think it's any good or not. And then
I don't think it's good. Personally, but then I don't resent its existence, so I don't understand why people have to
the right attitude to take.
It does make me wonder if they're going to do a Chug Sentinel Prime with that yellow head sculpt, because that looks really quite good, like a yellow Optimus Prime.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be cool. Like the Missing Link one.
Yeah.
I also managed to pick up the last couple of Japanese exclusives before the year was out. So one of them was this clear plastic Bumblebee, which was squeaky bum time when it came to converting it, because there was a lot of creaking and there's a lot of having to use a bit of force to get parts to go where they're supposed to go. And with clear plastic, that's always a bit of a gamble. But he does look very nice.
He does. Bit cheeky there from Guzzy.
I'm going through him quickly. Look, I'm not. I also
I'm
got
not saying he's wrong.
The Clear Mirage,
Oh,
which is based on the mainline toy rather than the Studio Series toy, but that's the better Mirage toy, so it doesn't. That's to our benefit. Again, another one that was creaking as I put it together, but it does look really nice. And it's got some metallic blue paint on there as well that really, really does
Just
set it off.
It's just calling for a wall test, isn't it?
Mm. And then I got some exclusives that are a bit older. So this is the 2003 BotCon figure Sentinel Maximus, which is based on Armada Overload. And it was the first BotCon figure that had a new head sculpt. Previously, they'd only recolored them. But here you can see he's got brand new head. Little missile pods. Alt mode.
was that the one that was featured in the graphic novel then?
I'm not sure.
There was the what was it called? It had Vector Prime in it, and the story was kind of
yes.
Universe Ramjet and
Universe Ramjet. You've got kicks his ass.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And
Not that I'm taking sides.
Ape Link is the minicon in this, so he's also got a new head. Then it was Shattered Glass, Blur, Rampage, and Sideswipe. I believe he's Sideswipe and Shattered Glass.
Oh, that's yeah.
Look at that head sculpt. Lovely.
Damn you, I'd like that Sideswipe.
And yeah, he's got a lot more lightning paint apps on him than the more recent ones got.
It's amazing what a paint job can do for a figure, though.
This gorgeous. Has anyone got the recent version of this that came out?
Yes, I've got both recent versions.
Oh, crap. Yeah, it's lovely.
And I had a spare one, and I gave that to Rohan, actually. I didn't ask any money.
And where did it end up?
I don't know what Rohan's did with it.
And he's flogging on eBay for double its worth. I'm joking, for a reasonable price, Rohan. You know that. That's very kind of you.
Rampage, one of the classics minicons. And then I got this, which is something I've been after for a while, which is the Enemy G1 voice changer, which now allows me to do one of the easiest cosplays ever at TF Nation.
Boy, you have grown.
Yeah, it takes one of them big square batteries, which I don't have, so I've ordered some, and then I'll be able to tell if it actually works or not.
Quality.
And these, which were a present for my friend Stu, so thank you, Stu. This is the original artwork for issue 31 of the Marvel UK comic.
Brilliant. Look at that. Pete's face.
And also issue 32.
Oh,
wow.
And when you've got them in front of you, unfortunately, photographs don't give you all the texture, because the texture, you can see where stuff's been altered, what different methods they've used, like pencil or pen, paint, even Tipex. It's just beautiful. And that's for later. So that's on my pickup.
Excellent. Well done. Shall we go to Pete next?
I'll be
What have
very
you
quick.
got for us this week, Pete?
Today, this week is Marvel Legends Week, and I picked up 2 versions of Marvel's Kane.
Hang on. Let me make you nice and big for the people.
Oi, oi. So 2 Marvel's Kane, Legacy of Kane was one of my favourite storylines, reading Spider-Man when I was a kid. So it's fantastic they brought out a Kane version. So one will be opened, one will stay on the card. And Comedian, everyone's master of disguise. So Comedian, there'll be one that I can open and one to put on the card. And I did win something on eBay today, but hopefully that'll be here next week because it's not really a pickup if you don't have it in your hand to pick up.
Said with some venom, Pete.
Just quickly, I did get something else. Guzzy, I'll be sticking this in the post for you tomorrow. So
awesome.
We'll be getting that early next week.
Especially after that cool comment he made against you there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not holding a grudge.
You're being the bigger man, Lee, and I appreciate that. Right. Jamie, do you want to go next or do you want to go last?
I could go next. I've just,
Cool.
This is more of bitterness, actually, showing this photo.
Beautiful.
I'll just
stick it to time. Sorry, I thought you'd just be doing it yourself.
Yeah, I didn't pick up anything this week, which is a good job considering this has been an expensive day. Galvatron. I think the colours are cool, brings the character there. But I spent all day just fixing this photo up, only to find all the news coming out and not realising I was like 3 hours behind everyone else. Then I was like, oh, damn it, there's no point really posting this because, everyone's going to be super focused there. But I was just thinking about the Target 2006, isn't it? To Target 2006
yes.
2000, Target 2006.
Because they got the year wrong, didn't they? They had an early version of the draft.
Because I keep seeing 2005 sometimes, and it's 2006. And I just remember that scene, Ultra Magnus, when he's looking all awesome and cool, about to take Galvatron down, only for the next section to find the Ultra Magnus getting tossed around like a rag doll, and beaten to a pulp.
Pretty much. Basically
fighting for his life. So it's a bit hilarious and that, But yeah, so I was working on that today, and I just wanted, because the idea is to focus on Galvatron and to sort of slightly blur him out a wee bit, get the depth, but to keep the gun a bit more into focus, to give that idea that it's pointing out there. But yeah, a bit annoyed. But yeah, I'll post it on Monday now.
Did you get anything else?
I just absolutely not picked up anything this week, but I'm going to In Demand Toys tomorrow. So
of course, maybe, for the birthday celebration.
And I probably wouldn't be spending anything now because I've just told Tammy, I've got Haslab, I've got 2. She's like, what?
I seem to remember a certain budget being mentioned that I feel is going to get blown out the water.
Haslab is not part of the budget.
You can't exclude it.
When is a budget not a budget?
Yeah. Because it's for charity. It's for charity.
What, Haslab?
Yeah.
Anyway, God bless you and all who sail on you. Right, I'll do my dread, and I'll try to go through a bit quickly. So I got Ramjet this week from the whole shebang. They got him in.
You bugger.
They've still got him, I believe, if you need him. I had about 3 different pre-orders with 3 different companies. It was like a race. Who's going to get there first? Because I thought even if I get 2, I'll be able to shift the other one on. But the whole shebang, God bless him. And I mean, he's Ramjet. Jamie, you've already got this, haven't you, from the 2-pack that a lot of people couldn't get hold of. Yeah, he's good. He's Ramjet. I don't know. I've had the other, the G2 Ramjet, so it's like I already knew what I was expecting. He's just Ramjet.
Is it coloured plastic? Not painted? I just wonder.
I believe it's coloured plastic. I haven't really, I'll be honest, I've been slightly distracted this week. So I haven't actually spent that much time with him, which is awful, really, when you get a new bot. You've got to spend some time with it. But then I got distracted, you see. But it's good. It's, that mold's good. I like it. It works. It'll look good on the shelf. I also opened up, this isn't a pickup for this week, strictly speaking, but I also picked up that breakdown. And God damn it, the colours on that are just immense. I just love it. Absolutely love it. But my, I suppose, big pickup for this week, or at least the one I was quite excited about, was from Primetime Toys and Moth. I got Fans Hobby Fright Storm, which is their Dreadwind. So I wanted to try this out because I know a lot of people who have had it and have said it's really good. I love Dreadwind as a toy and a character, and I love Darkwing. Darkwing. So I thought I'll get this one first because Moth had it in stock at Primetime Toys, and then if I like it, I might get the other one as well, so I can have them both. And it's really good. I mean, it's got its foibles. I'm sure anybody in the chat who's got this will tell you the same thing. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it is very good. Comes with his little Power Master dude who's articulated, which I do like the fact he's got elbows and knees and all the rest of it. Jet mode looks beautiful. It's got a transformer slung underneath it, but it still looks good, and I can accept that. I mean, it's just a really nice jet mode. Was it F-16? I think they were. I think it was F-16. Again, somebody in the chat will know about jets and will tell me. And then the robot mode is just really good. Wow. I didn't think the transformation was too bad. Like I was thinking it's third party. This is going to be a bit of a half an hour nightmare. It was all done and dusted in like 5-10 minutes. So quite easy. I mean, I was going fairly carefully because I was thinking, I don't want to break this damn thing straight out of the box. There's a couple of bits on it where you're like, I'm not sure if that feels right, but it's the way it goes. There was only one bit I kind of got a bit stuck on with the head, trying to get the head out, and I decided to follow Moff's advice, and I found an MGO video of the transformation and just fast forward and tried to figure out where I was going wrong. And I'd literally started doing it the right way, changed my mind halfway through and went, no, that can't be right, started doing it the wrong way, and then the video confirmed I was doing it right in the first place. And then there's my little Dreadwind, I should say, collection. So yes, I really like it. I think it's good. I am unfortunately now going to have to get the Darkwing to go with it. Do they scale really with anything in my collection? Not really. Do they look good on a shelf and on a table and everywhere else? I keep putting it to annoy my wife. Yes, they do. Mostly it's annoying my wife though. But yeah, it's really good. And I love the box. I love the G1 style boxes. Third party companies keep doing that, and I'll probably end up buying more of your stuff. I know some do, but god damn it looks good. So yeah, that was it. That was me. Sorry,
mate. Nice collection of Dreadwings.
Thank you. Although my poor G1 one's starting to yellow a bit, I fear. But there you go.
Will Darkwing combine with it?
Yes, it does combine into the...
Oh, wicked.
Is it Dreadwing, I think they call it?
Dreadwing, yeah.
Yeah, Dreadwing.
I have got both of those, but I've not gotten around to combining them yet.
I hear it's not great. But then again, the original G1 one, when you combined them, not great, and the Power of the Primes version, not great. Yeah, I'm always worried when you have to do the combination that you're going to snap something. It's not going to take the weight. So I'll keep them as their individual bots. But yeah, and yeah, that's the next thing I'll be after, I suppose. Get a Darkwing to go with that. Stop cussing, Andy. Did I cuss? I cuss then?
You cuss all the time.
Do we cuss?
Yeah.
That is absolute bollocks, Jamie. Right, let's move on. Everybody's done theirs. Let's move on and go on to some foreplay, which this week is all about our favourite jets.
Lynn, these are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
And we do. So, who would like to go first with this? We're looking at our favourite jet mode Transformers, our top 5, even though there's only 4 of us, but I'm sure people will have 1 or 2 honorary mentions.
I can go first.
Go on then, Jamie.
My one is nice and simple. It's a generic Seeker mold, and I honestly think it's not been outclassed. It's just amazing. Obviously, this is the troop builder from the troop set. My Sky Thundercracker, I should say, is transformed under a couple of boxes somewhere, so I need to find them. But Thundercracker being my favourite, but he's close enough. He's close enough, especially with my camera color settings, etc. But yes, it's the Seekers, isn't it? They're just superb. You saw them in the cartoons. There were the original trio of bad guys, the henchmen from Megatron, Soundwave. We saw them in the comics, had wonderful stats, how fast they can go, how they can teleport, some could teleport, some could do other things. Starscream's ability seemed to be getting beaten a lot by Megatron for trying to become the leader of the Decepticons. So yeah, it's definitely Seekers for me. And it's just a classic jet. It looks awesome. I mean, if you did see a blue jet like this up in the sky, it's definitely not a good disguise, but it would make you quite concerned. So yes, this is me finished now, Andy. This is my choice.
It's a good choice. It's a good mold.
Great choice.
We've got RAF Leeming, which isn't far from us, and they've been doing a lot of aerial maneuvers and practice in the last week or so. So there's been jets flying everywhere and helicopters into the night as well. So it's always exciting to see that. F-15s amongst them, which is really cool to see.
I mean, I just love Thundercracker. I just love this sort of decor, and I like Starscream as well, and I like Skywarp, and I just love any sort of repaints that Hasbro does of the Seekers, because it's just an immense mold which will never age. And you look into the history of these characters, when you look at the stats, how the stats were all mixed up between Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. So there's a lot of heritage and a lot of lore with these figures. Come with a lot of baggage.
The originals. Pete, what's your choice?
Well, it's hard to follow.
Would you like me to make you big?
Always.
There you go.
Are you using a filter to pretend you're from Wales?
I was going to say, what's going on with your picture? You've gone very pixelated.
Oh. I'm all right, listen.
It's that Wi-Fi in Bracknell.
I would be a bit concerned if you were pixelated in your room. That would be like, oh, God.
He's not real. He's AI.
What's happened to my skin? No.
Oh, no.
I knew nobody could be that nice.
I knew I should never went on the adult sites. No.
Is it still bad now?
That's something else, Jamie. Yeah, it's all. Just crack on. We'll just power through.
Right. Hang on.
Hey.
I'll turn the camera off. Maybe a hard reset.
Ooh, a hard reset. Nice. Well, do you want to come? We'll come back to you in a minute. Then. See if you can sort your camera out. We'll come back to you. Lee, give us your favourite jet.
Okay. Well, like Jamie said, the F-15 is one of the most iconic jets in Transformers, and because of that, it's what I think of when I think jets. So I had to pick a different one because that was the obvious one that someone's going to choose. I've just shared an image with you.
You have, and there it is.
So this is Transformers 2010 Terror Dive.
Nice.
And you got quite a few repaints, but I think this one is the one that most people would have. It's just so sci-fi, but it's also a real jet. It just straddles the line. It gives you a bit of Cyclonus because it's got the swept forward wings. It gives you a bit of Seeker because it's got the two tail booms, and the actual toy itself is very sleek. It hasn't got a lot of kibble, so it's great for just zooming around your head like you're actually flying and fighting some Autobots.
What's your plane sound effect?
Oh, I need a plane in my hand to be able to do that. Have I got one? No, I haven't got one. I can't show you.
I'll play it. Look, and you do the sound effect.
Why don't you do yours for us, Jamie?
A minute.
He's got to prepare. Become one.
You're there.
Whoosh. Yeah, that could be a play. Definitely. Lovely.
I was going to do a Street Fighter song, Sonic Boom.
Classic. That's a really interesting choice, though. Yeah, because I've tried to avoid going for maybe the more obvious things, but yeah, I had the Space Case that was repainted as for
and
Dark
also it was done as the Cybertronian form of Depth Charge from Beast Boys.
Very good, very good. An excellent choice, an interesting choice as well. Pete, how are you doing? We're still seeming a little bit pixely, but shall we just crack on?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what's the matter with it.
You're right there, Jimmy.
I'll just be back. I've got one more to show you.
He's going to go and reset my router.
That's Jamie controls all the internet in the world.
I'll just wait here. You guys have picked some great choices. Jamie picked the Seekers, which would be my second choice, but I think the only logical choice was Cyclonus. This is the Generation Select version, quite possibly a new color of the best chug transformer in recent times in terms of, I think, expectation in terms of transformation and I think value. He's an exceptional toy, but the character as well. I mean, Cyclonus, they could have done so much more with him. He was just the coolest bad guy post the movie. They could have done so much more.
That's weird though, because he did so little realistically in the film. I mean, the only really big good thing he did was when he took out the shuttle. But in the comic, he was miles better in the comics, especially the UK.
And what a death! What a death!
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, they did laud him. They did laud him in the comics that, you know, second behind Galvatron. Him and Scourge were the most powerful Decepticons because, you know, it's straight out of Unicron kind of thing. And I think he got a much better run in the comics than he obviously did in the cartoons. But we know the comics were light years ahead in terms of the cartoon. But such an exceptional character, total badass, probably my favourite Decepticon. He's just an absolute legend. And look at the jet mode. Talk about space jet. Cyclonus, the winner all day long.
Do you know, I love Cyclonus. I love his jet mode. He was one of those Decepticons that I absolutely adored from the film. But I still feel like they've never quite perfectly captured the jet mode. Like the sleekness of it in the movie animation was just so cool looking. Maybe that Quietus. Yeah, that's the only thing. The third party one, Quietus, maybe. But anyway, it's still a very good choice.
Did a damn good attempt. I just think the Chug figure should be leader class size. I think it should be. I think they could just upscale it.
Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe that's what they'll do with him next. Right, I'll do mine. Sorry, Jamie, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say.
You got the other one, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got the Thundercracker
here.
Oh,
the Blockies one.
Yes.
Hey, we got some Blockies on. Woohoo!
Yeah, we don't do enough with Blockies, to be fair. But yes,
I
was delighted. My favourite Decepticon, Thundercracker there. So yes, I must.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. I'm gonna annoy people, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I was gonna go for Snare because I love the design of the kind of. It is G1. I know we call it G1.5, but it's strictly speaking is G1. But I'm not. The classic Seekers. I mean, the original ones, just beautiful. Thundercracker there, awesome. But I'm still not going for that one. Then I thought about Trigger Happy because Trigger Happy is just. I know some people might argue it's a spaceship, but it's a jet. It's one of the Decepticon Target Master jets. But I still didn't decide to go for that one. I thought I'm going to go for something else. I have to go for this. Not just this version of it either. This is the King Atlas version, the Universe one. But they're like the G1 or G1.5 if you're going to be like that. Skyquake. Oh, I just love it. The profile of it. And this is what I'm kind of talking about. Like with the Cyclonus, I don't feel maybe that Quietus does it, I suppose, but like in mainline, I don't think we've quite nailed the alt mode perfectly for me. But this, as a jet mode, I know there's robot bits that are a couple of them kind of a bit visible. But generally speaking, it's such a lovely, sleek design. And I just really, really like it. And as I say, any version of this, there's the Machine Wars Starscream as well. It's the black one. I'd take any of these. I did actually add a sneaky look to try and find myself a Machine Wars Starscream, and all the prices I could find for them were way beyond what I was willing to pay. But I guess that's because it's a desirable mold. So yeah, my choice this time, because I try to change it every time just so it doesn't get boring, is going to be King Atlas, the King Atlas mold, or the Skyquake mold, if you prefer, from G1. I still think it's a brilliant toy. And don't forget, it can actually drop bombs. I mean, that is not real ones, not going to kill anyone, but like little toy bombs. That's fantastic. You can roll a drum and the little bombs fall out. I mean, come on, that's brilliant. So yeah, I'm going to go with that. There we go.
I think that's quite cool.
Right, where have we got to? So we've just done our pickups. Foreplay. Social corner.
Socials corner. I reckon that was what was trash in my laptop.
Shall we try? Shall we try the intro that Paul created? Just because we've got nothing else. Let's do it.
My Amish friends call me Lorna. I'm coming out of the fauna. If my cat died, I would mourn her. It's time for Social Corner.
I thought about cutting it short, and I thought, no, let's all enjoy the ending of that.
Do you know, when you talked about the bombs dropping there, I was thinking about that story in World War II where the Germans made this airfield out of wood to try to base British bombers. And the British flew bombers over, and all the Germans were happy going, they're falling for it. And they dropped wooden bombs.
Yeah, they dropped wooden bombs. Airfield. It was genius. Oh, massive waste of aviation fuel.
That's a humour back then. Wouldn't have got the joke.
Anyway, social corner. I'm gonna share it now, Pete. There we go.
Bubbles the forest wizard. Bubbles the forest wizard with an old toy photo that they're obviously looking at redoing, but that's Titan's Return Soundwave.
Yes.
I've got them right up there.
And a load of Cobra, which is what they're the 3.5 inch, 3 3/4 inch figures. Awesome photo. Obviously, when you consider that Soundwave became the Dreadnought tank, Dreadnought car, Dreadnought family saloon,
Thunder Machine,
Thunder Machine.
Family saloon. People carrier.
Ryan Miller, I've been following Ryan Miller a bit. Exceptional artist, which I would like to think it's watercolors, but going through the G1 roster, an exceptionally talented individual. Love seeing their paintings. This is on Blue Sky. It goes without saying, any of the people we follow, please give them any of the people we showcase, please give them a follow. They do some exceptional stuff. But Ryan Miller with the most random G1 toy ever.
It's such a cool wrecker. And he's got a heck of a sort of backstory to him as well, especially in IDW when he accidentally committed, was it global genocide?
Yeah. Got a bit of a bad write-up.
Some kind of a war or something. And caused like the death of,
We could all do it. It's an easy mistake to make.
Exactly. He's like the performer's Mr. Bean.
A little bit unhinged in the nice way. Chronicles a cliff jumper with Marvel Legends Death's Head. What a picture. I can't really say a lot. Just an exceptional photo. And here he is with Cybertron Sentinel Prime.
Yeah, it's the legacy.
I think we all want a sword that can glow in the dark, don't we? We all want that.
Real one. Oh, you mean for the toy, right? Yeah, that too. Yeah, that would be good. That's a great photo, though. That's just, god damn.
It just, I'm in awe sometimes of the talent that we get to show off on other people's buff. So, regular watcher, I never pronounce his name right. Gojira
Prime.
What do I say? Just an exceptional
Usually we
photo.
describe the picture and why we like it.
Yeah. Is that
I know you're old, but
yeah. No, but I mean, what the picture speaks for itself. I think exceptional.
Does it excite you, bring you back to times when it used to be fun to go outside?
Yes.
Lean on the front bonnet.
When I used to frequent.
Have you ever had a decent car for a girl to lean against? Actually, I wonder.
When you used to frequent car parks.
Yeah. When I used to go to
I'm not
the
sure
diner.
that's the direction we should be going.
Revving your engine.
when I
Is
used
that
to go to the
euphemism?
diner after work, the drive-through.
Oh dear. Love
The
it.
old days.
The old days, old days. Are they the Micro Machine? No, not Micro Machines.
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels,
Wheels.
yeah.
Hot Wheels Prime. Springer, social media frequenter, likes to take artwork, usually comic colors, and toyify them with his fantastic toy collection and camera skills. Here we are, Skybound issue 4. Soundwave being a bit naughty with Wheeljack. So here's the cover, and here's Springer's version of it.
He does a great job of recreating these covers with toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
Massively so. And that's Social Corner this week.
Social Corner. Haunting was one word that was used to describe our Social Corner intro, and I think that's very accurate, very accurate. And it's discussion time now. It's time to chat.
We now return to the Transformers.
Obviously, after we played the intro. So, Lee, I believe this was your lovely suggestion. So, why don't you introduce what tonight's discussion is about?
Well, my discussion is, how can you be a positive influence on the community? And you guys already are a positive influence because you are creating content that people can join in with and is going to be there every week. And if you're at a convention, you're always so friendly and approachable. You're just such nice guys. You're willing to help anyone, listen to anyone. But most of the time we're online, and online spaces are becoming worse as things go on. So for the new year, how can we all try and be a positive impact on the community?
Great question. It's a great question. And I think, I think from my take on it is that social media's now give us a I'm looking for inspiration, Andrew. I've got a teleprompter. Up there.
Is Emma there with some cards?
Don't forget to mention. No, but I think because we're in a world now that we've got so many social media outlets that people are a lot more accessible, and because we have the opportunity to say negative stuff, we feel like we need to take that opportunity. And I think it's okay not to like stuff, but it's not okay to say someone's bad for liking it. Like the running joke is with me with Beast Wars, right? I don't like Beast Wars, but just because you like Beast Wars, or you like Beast Wars, or you like Beast Wars, doesn't make it wrong. I just don't like it, and that's okay. But you're not wrong for liking it. And I think we live in a world now where we have a lot of keyboard warriors. And we have a lot of people that just because they have the ability to, be horrible. There you go, without dumbing it down a bit, and piss all over people's opinions and what they like. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I think is my take on it. I don't think
People
needed.
become very entrenched, don't they, in their views? That's what's become more and more prevalent. I mean, I think it's always happened, but it's become more and more prevalent in recent years. And sometimes you just need to let people enjoy the things they like. You don't have to like everything. Like Pete said, he's not a big fan of Beast Wars. I mean, hatred would probably be the more accurate word, but I mean, you know, he's not a big. Let's go with not a big fan, because then we don't anger as many people. But like, it's fine. You don't have to like what other people like. But if other people are enjoying it, you also don't have to piss on their chips and try and ruin it for other people. Like you do see sometimes in the forums and you know, on Twitter and even a little bit on Blue Sky. Not as much, because Blue Sky's been a really nice, positive place so far, as far as I'm concerned. But you know, it's there's still some people who come out sometimes, and it's just like, you don't have to. Right, you don't like something. You can say you don't like something, but you don't have to keep going on about the point just because somebody who doesn't want to agree with you. We're gonna have different points of view, and that's fine. You're allowed to.
And it's reveal day, so there are going to be people saying this is rubbish. I don't like this. Whereas we were saying, well, there was a lot of that around Superion when it was revealed a couple of weeks ago, and now everyone's like, "Oh, I like Superion. He's looking cool."
We make snap judgments, don't we?
Yes. Well, it's like Galvatron that Jamie loves. This Galvatron, where our first image of it was scrunched up at the bottom of a carrier bag, and everyone's like, "That's shit." Or,
they couldn't even put it in a box.
For shame.
Just take a breath, count to 10, and then think again before you post something.
But
it's like Pete said, if you don't like something, explain why you don't like it without saying that it's a conspiracy from Hasbro to make you angry, or it's
often is.
But
I do think social media is designed to cause interaction, and it's designed to personify negative emotions and negative comments. And I think with humans it's worse, because obviously when something's written on social media, it might be a gut reaction, but it's not allowed to disappear into the beyond or the ether or into the abyss, because it's set in stone. So people will discover that comment 2 years from now, 10 years from now, and will still be just as fresh in their mind as if you said it there and then. And people tend to read over comments again and again, and they'll imagine the tone, and suddenly you're in a different landscape to what the original writer wrote. And what you got to understand is you're going to be communicating people who are not only not in your bubble, but not in your intellectual ability or your education, or from a different country with a completely different background. Just because the TV shows might look similar doesn't mean you share any type of heritage whatsoever. So language is going to be troublesome, even if you think you speak the same language. And just because something doesn't sound as sweet to your so-called educated ears doesn't mean you should be dismissing it. But then again, that happens because of trolls, because trolls have almost trained people to read things in a negative way. And that's something which I can understand and I can forgive when people react badly to comments, because trolls have created that environment. And it's hard to understand when someone is being genuine, or they just lack the language and the social language to what you are accustomed to. And I think sometimes we use emojis to try to say, oh, this is a joke, because we know sometimes sarcasm doesn't come across and comedy doesn't come across. And sometimes we even start, I don't mean to be rude. And the minute someone says you don't mean to be rude, it usually means, but they're going to be rude now. and honestly, they're saying it like a white flag, because they don't want to be jumped on, because people pile on people so quickly. And sometimes it's going to be the troll and you might feel justified, but all that energy just gets wasted. And then sometimes I've seen people who are meant to be good people, maybe they're just cosplaying good people. They want to be good people, but they're not, because they're just piled onto a kid who may be 16. And you might think, oh, a 16-year-old's old enough. Well, they're not really. They haven't got the intellectual ability to hold a stampede of 5,000 people being angry at them. And I think we've got to learn that we're going to make mistakes. And we've got to be forgiven, and we can't always be good, but we can try to be good, because when you look at psychology or philosophy, a good man is someone who's always trying to be good. He knows he's got sins. He knows he's a sinner. Where people who think they're not, they're the ones you should be watching out for. And I think when it comes to social media, people like yourself, Spider Father, you do a fantastic job. I think you really do. You explain things well. You come across well. You're always sort of fun posts. Especially I like Graham from Transformers UK Guide. Always these quick little jokes. And it always hurts me when people go after someone like that because they're so open and so nice. And I can see why people react and overreact because of trolls. And I just wish social media would get a handle on it. And hopefully we either adapt to social media and learn how to cope with it, or we go into something different and social media moves on to something more. Because I like the idea of it, social media, it's a plan, and a lot of people are calling for it, is when you post a comment, it's got a shelf life. It will disappear after, say, 24 hours or 8 hours to prevent the set in stone analogy, which can cause something to be negative accidentally. And I like approaches like that. It gives people an opportunity, although obviously it could be misused. But yeah, I think you have to give a lot of give and help out social media influencers.
There's no patience online. That's part of the problem. And things get misinterpreted. It's much easier for me and Jamie to have a discussion about something face to face than if we had differing points of view and we're trying to do it through messages, because your messages can be misinterpreted. It's much harder through written messages, especially with some people. Like, we've got friends of ours who sometimes their messages, their language skills maybe aren't, not quite as clear cut as you might want them to be. So they can say things and then they don't mean it the way it comes across. And that's what starts a lot of these online arguments. People immediately taking offense to something without actually knowing how the original poster meant it. Now, if it's obvious and he's being a bit of a tool, then yeah, fair enough. But then it's amazing how many times I've seen actual reasonable conversations between people on a forum that looked like they were going to turn into massive arguments before one person explained themselves properly and the other person went, "Oh, right, is that what you meant? All right, yeah, that's fair enough."
What did they say? You should be able to explain it to a drunk. And if you can't explain it to a drunk, then you need to go back. I know we've had experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, explain it to us. You'll be fine. If we can get it, you're all right.
But and then if the person can explain it back to you, then is true understanding being achieved. But we just can't do in social media.
Prime Chandler 1214 with an important message for us there. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Social media. That's a big part of the problem at the moment.
So we've identified why social media is the problem. So what do we do to make it better? And what do we suggest other people do to make it better? I think a rule to live by in every aspect of life is don't be a dick. Right?
Yeah.
That's
even if you're skilled at it and like natural talent.
Even if you got a master's.
Professor. I see you joined us again.
Just don't do it. All right? When you're writing that tweet or that post or you're having that comment, right? Just to stop for a second and go, what do I hope to achieve? Okay, are you hoping that you're gonna by commenting on positively on a piece of artwork that you've seen, or that you've just seen a leak or something like that? You don't have to like it, but let's be honest, does that individual want to hear how you don't like it?
Maybe.
Yeah. But do they? Does it make you feel any better typing that you don't like that person's piece of artwork?
You see, I think that comes what you say. For example, when I do a photo, I love it when people point out the mistakes in the transformation because it means I can change and fix it before I do another 20. And I think that's great. And I think it's also, if you've got an idea, and I think it's brilliant because if you say something, for example, a good one, Bombshell, obviously he did not become Cyclonus. He became a sweet. you know, boo-hoo-hoo. It's just a fact. And but you can have a discussion about it. And then it can go on, and that's great for social media because comments are just as powerful as likes, and it drives your post, and it's good. So always take thing. If you want to be like his Spider Power was talking about, you want to be a good force out there, is always be polite. Take things in the best way possible. And even if you disagree with the person and it suddenly starts to become repetitive, just explain it to the person that it's repetitive. But at the end of the day, like I think Andy always said, it's your toy, it's your imagination. You do with that toy whatever you want. If you want Bombshell to be Cyclonus and you're twisted, I would say twisted, I would say in your little universe, you go for that. You go for that. And I do believe that because for me, Inferno is the best wrecker. And I disagree with Simon Foreman. I don't care if he's the creative genius behind the records. He's wrong. You know.
I think Dave's really summed it up nicely by pointing out that the thing we're to do really after consideration is to gift Cheetor toys to Pete, as many as is humanly possible. I think that's a really valuable contribution, Dave, and I think everybody should.
Why? No, Dave. No, Dave's abusing what I've just said.
Let me just do a quick test. I'm going to show you something, right? And I'd like each of you.
We're not real doctors.
To say something nice about it.
For yourself, Pete.
I was in town earlier today and I popped into the Entertainer and I picked something up because it's Beast Wars. Not because I particularly thought it was good, but because it's Beast Wars and I like Beast Wars. So I'd like you all to try and say something positive about that.
Have you still got the receipt?
Yeah.
Is that positive? Right, I can say something positive about that. I would say that I think that if you gave that figure to a kind of primary school age kid, they would have a whale of a time messing around with that thing.
There you go.
That's
Like
a lot of fun.
One. Jamie?
I love the head sculpt.
Good one.
It's very
Pete?
visible.
Here we go, Pete.
I'll show you. They've got P1 characters on there as well.
He's strapping himself to the chair.
I'm meeting you halfway, Pete.
I was hit by a car when I was 13 and it wasn't as painful. And that wasn't as painful as that.
We are saying
to echo Andy's point, it is a area of the franchise that with that style of toy will become very popular with a certain target audience.
Excellent.
I'm not that target audience.
So, Spider Father, what do you think will help become a positive member of the community?
Well, be kind is the first thing, because you got to remember that just because you're talking to someone online, you're not talking to another 40-something-year-old man. You might be talking to a teenager or someone who's just come into the fandom. He doesn't necessarily know that much about it, but wants to learn. So that's why when I post things, I'm always trying to educate people as well. I'm adding a little bit more information and just saying, here's a toy I bought. Don't it look good? I try to add a bit of context. If people are unsure, then just say, well, what is it that you're unsure about? Maybe I can help. I can point you towards some material. The wiki's always good if someone wants to learn a bit more about the franchise, or maybe you can share another figure that they're interested about. A lot of the stuff that I post, I do get comments from people saying, I never knew that existed. That I've never seen that. That's interesting. Then you say, well, if you want to learn more, ask some questions or go this way. Just be available and useful to people rather than just constantly trying to say, oh, look, I've got this. Because I realize that I can come off like that because I've got a lot of stuff. But I want to share it rather than just use it to brag, because I want other people to be interested in it as well. And just helping people. So you saw I was showing this off earlier. I knew Guzzy was looking for it because he mentioned it. And I just so happened to be trying to get one for myself. So I said, I'll get another one if you want me to grab that for you, because it was overseas and it was an import and it's not over here. But that was just helping someone add something to their collection. to improve it, grow it a little bit.
It's
See,
strange
I
because you wouldn't
often
think it's that hard to be positive.
I
Exactly.
think
We like Transformers, so wouldn't we naturally want to be positive about Transformers, even if it's a specific bit of Transformers that we personally like? We can still be positive about that and
But
share other people's positivity about their thing.
But I just wonder about the mindset of individuals because, for example, when it goes to restaurants, you're going to remember the bad restaurant you went to, but probably won't remember 99 of the good restaurants. Now, a thing I like to think about is we've all been quite social media heavy, but for maybe 5 years since we've done Transformers the show, I can't remember a single negative comment online. I can remember a verbal comment. But and we've had plenty of negative comments, but I don't focus on them. I've moved on because as soon as it's there, it honestly means nothing. You know, I often think, well, I hope they've just accidentally come across as, like that. But I just move on because you've just got to be like that. I don't know if that's because of education, but you get tons and tons of negative comments from a myriad of different sources, usually from politicians that can't even use a calculator. But yes, I just think I wonder if that's a skill set because I see some people sometimes go, I got this awful comment, and they'll post about it and they talk about it and they're giving life to the comment. It's not like they're feeding fire anymore because the conversation's dead, but they're giving life to that comment. And I think they should have just left it for dead because that's what it was worth.
We're not just online, particularly the UK community. We're physically present at the big events that we all go to. And you guys are always very welcome and say, look, come up and talk to us, come and join us, sit down, join the party. It's the same for me as well. People will come up to me and it's about making time to actually stop what you're doing and have a conversation with those people. Don't be a dick. Say, oh, I'm here on my holiday. I just want to get on and do my stuff. Just give somebody 5 minutes, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
To form a connection.
Well said.
It doesn't take that much. But then I do think sometimes, obviously, there are people, we've had people in our own chat saying about how they might not have been to TFN before or something like that because they might have social anxiety and they really worry about it. Just trying to be understanding of each other, look after each other. It's what we try to do. We've always tried to do at these events and, treat people the way you want to be treated at the end of the day. It's a very simple life lesson that we all learned when we were little kids. It's not a particularly difficult one to do. I want to shout out Graham Thompson, who does the TF Guide?
TF UK.
TF UK. What a lovely guy he was. And when I went to my first TFN, I'd been interacting with his posts and things online, and he was the first other Transformers fan at a TFN that I ever spoke to, and he was such a lovely guy. He invited me to come and sit down at this table with the people he was all with, didn't know any of them, and there's like bots being passed around, and that was a really nice kind of like first entry point to what TFN is about, and yeah. And the weird thing about that is because Graham's such a nice bloke, and every time I see him at TFN, it's always passing each other because we're both going off to do something or to meet someone. It's always, I see, we'll catch up later at the bar, and we never do. It's just like ships in the night, just fly past each other. But again, like you, Lee, he's just one of those people that's just a really nice, welcoming member of the community who, again, will help people out. Just a really nice guy as well.
That was TFN stuff.
Because I first met him like 25 years ago. He was the first other collector that I met, because he invited me round to his flat and he was showing me all these toys that I'd never seen before, like car robots and Beast Wars and Beast Machine stuff, that because I'd only just recently got back in or started properly adult collecting, this was all, and G1 stuff that I'd never seen actual toys of, like a Trailbreaker. He showed me a Trailbreaker. I'd never seen.
I'm not giving you anything, Dave.
And then we sat down and watched some episodes of Car Robots, which were all in Japanese. They hadn't been translated at that point. So yeah, just people like that, people who are willing to be open and share what they.
I I just think that's what TF Nation staff were like. I remember when I went to my first TF Nation, and just speaking to the staff who were enthusiastic and gave you the time of day just to help you out and give you advice was, I always thought was quite amazing in comparison to other similar events where it always feels like you're eating into someone's time, or it's a privilege to be speaking to them, and you never got that off the TF Nation staff. And I hope that is something we retain, because that must be hard. It's the mindset of the people that are getting involved,
and they're all volunteers, so they are sacrificing their time at the show to make the show for the rest of us.
Yeah, that's a really good point as well. Like, as you get with that show TFU K-Con as well, they're people who are, you're not being paid for it. They're there giving their time to try and help you. And TFN staff are always really helpful and just nice people, and often quite funny. They're like, I love, who's the guy who's on the door at the trader hall every time, and he's the one who comes out. He's like, "Are we all ready?" You're all excited. I love that guy. He's just great. But all of them, all of the staff are so helpful. If you've got a query, you're not sure about something, just if they can't help you, they will point you in the direction or take you to someone who can help you. And it just helps if you are an anxious person. The other thing that TFN do as well that they're able to do is they've got the room, haven't they, where you have the registrations on the Saturday morning, and then it becomes a quiet space area so you can go into. So for those people who do find things overwhelming, I think that's a really good thing as well, to give people that opportunity to go in there. And just, that's why you never find us in there. It's a quiet space. It's not really ideal for us.
Trying out a break dancing in front of a captive audience.
While Jamie's doing whoosh sounds.
Yes.
all these things being said, I think we are quite lucky in the fandom where there's not as many negative voices as there was, and that's changed over time. And I think the positive people now far outweigh the negative, and I think that's a really nice position to be in. And I think it's stuff like TFN and the engagements with people like Lee and Sixo and all of the other social media prevalent guys. Graham Thompson, we've waxed lyrical about the stuff that he puts online. I think the space is better than it ever has been, but I think there's still lessons and behaviors that we take for granted that sometimes people need to be remembered. You be reminded of.
I do think people who use social media and then they sort of meet up at these places, you've got to understand there's a lot of people, and it's an understatement when I say this, they're not social media savvy as you. They don't have the same knowledge base as you. They're not going to know who are bad and good. They're not going to know what is constantly going around in the planet. They probably don't even know what's going on in their own street. And I think it's something, it's so easy to take for granted that people are going to have the same base of knowledge as you have, or even half that knowledge base, when the reality is they won't even have 10%. And it's so easy to get very emotional and forthright. I always think to the fact is that we seem to react to what America does rather than react to what the rest of the world is doing, which is currently burning at this moment. But I don't want to bring people down on that or to attack them. I don't want to say, well, if you're buying a product from there, why are you buying it from this damn country which has all these human rights violations? What's the difference? And I think sometimes you can find yourself getting into hyperbole trap, and you don't want to go down that line, because I think even in countries which are awful, it's not the people's fault. The people that come from these countries, it's not the stores' fault. They're just trying to get a living, and they're doing their best in a world that's very, very difficult. And I think sometimes we've just got to appreciate that people are coming from a completely alien type of background to something which you maybe not even consider. And that's TF Nation, because TF Nation, you've got people coming from different countries now, which is amazing.
Well, I think we can all agree that we should all buy Lily a beer when you see him. It will make him feel good, and Lee does deserve it.
A
Or
ginger
Black Prime.
beer. A ginger beer can't handle alcohol.
Yeah.
One drink and Lee becomes naked legally. No, thank you.
As long as he doesn't have any Cheetos on him, I'll buy him as many beers as he wants.
Buy your beers to not buy a Pete Cheeto. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Malware.
I mean,
what's that, Guzzy? I'm old.
He's more of a tea man, apparently, is Lee.
But you see that to someone, that's got malware, and they'd be like, what the heck is that? Is that a new Nintendo character? I like that.
So to summarize our discussion about how we can be a more positive influence in the Transformers community, we basically, I think we can sum it up by saying, try not to be a dickhead.
Cannibalism. No cannibalism.
Yeah. You're right. How did we miss that one out? That was the obvious first answer. I know the prices in the TFN bar are high. Come on.
When Spider Papa said that last night, that was one of the options we came up. Said cannibalism's off the menu, lads. We're not doing that now.
On the menu. I just told Jamie that so he doesn't expect it when it's his turn.
Avoid cannibalism. That always helps. Yeah,
so I like to live my life.
You shouldn't have to, in this day and age, have to explain to people how to be nice to each other. You've learned that shit in primary school. It should not be something you have to educate people on. But unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world, and yeah, you just need to think about it. I like to think that the people who watch this show aren't the kind of people that would be doing that kind of thing anyway. I hope not, anyway. But you just don't know, do you? You just don't know.
Look at cannibalism. Chat's been really good while we've been having this discussion.
JV's going to have cannibalism and get angry with his cat that keeps stealing his stuff out of his cupboards and drawers because it's learned to open it. Go on, Pete.
We're just saying about being nice to people, right? And Lily has just completely peed all over that.
Wait, no.
Why are you a Cheeto, Pete?
Sorry.
No, have you not listened to the last half an hour?
Everybody should buy Pete a Cheeto because it'll make him feel happy. And if it won't make him feel happy, it'll make all of us feel happy. No, don't waste your money. Don't waste
your money.
Thing, but
donate it to Mary's Meals.
Yes, that's a much better idea. Donate to Pete running the Bracknell Half Marathon. And
Pete, if you were to die during this half marathon,
whoa. Positive.
I'm asking questions that other people are scared.
Shall we sell your collection?
If it's anything over 15 degrees, I might die.
Oh dear. Lovely.
Is Emma going to be there with a wheelchair so you can sit on it as you recover and she pushes you the rest of the way?
Well, see, that's the Kickstarter. So when we get to 100 backers, she will push me around the whole 13 miles in a wheelchair.
I've got a better idea. She sits in the wheelchair and you push her. Let's really crank it up.
Yes.
And she gets to be involved then. She'll love that. I bet she's watching that right now.
And
thinking,
square wheels on that wheelchair. Make it interesting.
Yeah. Like they have in Hartlepool.
Yeah, none of this round rubbish. No.
Lee, is there anything else you would like to add to your discussion topic, which I think has been a really good one because we've managed to spend about half an hour discussing this, which is really good.
I think you've all done very well. Chat people have done very well. Just be kind, be patient, be generous.
Easy rules to live by.
And remember, just because you go down a wrong route doesn't mean you can't take it back. You know, we all make mistakes. Just forgive. Don't entrench yourself.
Right. Does anybody, we are getting very close to the 2-hour mark of our show and we have now finished essentially the discussion. Does anybody have anything else they wanted to add before we leave or any reminders perhaps?
I've got this really cool 80s bedspread.
Wow, that's really good.
That in there. It's too small for my bed though, it's a single.
I'll swap you for one with Pete's face all over
it. So, anyone going to Indie Man Toy thing tomorrow?
No, it's a 6-hour round trip So no.
Anybody in the chat going to In Demand tomorrow? Maybe.
I was going to go. So I'm still 50-50.
Ah. Well, they'll have the stuff that they don't have on the store. So if there's anything vintage you're after, they might have something.
Yeah, there'll be like a Kapow, I'd imagine, where there's a lot of stuff that they don't list on the website necessarily. So you'll be able to have your
lots of independence. I wonder how close they are to Nerdbase. Nerdbase is a good place to visit. I've only actually visited once, actually, but yeah.
I'm just looking in the chat. We've got someone asking, Lee, where did you get your T-shirt?
I believe it's a Ryan Button design. So he's on Blue Sky.
Yes.
I'll just try and find him. I'll put the link in the chat.
He's also on Twitter as well, for those who are still using Twitter. Very good artist. Gajira Prime is saying it's a 259-mile trip for him to get to In Demand, so I don't think he's going to make it. Only a 20-hour round trip for Robert Kopp. Lazy Robert Kopp. Get on your get going now. Leave now. You'll make it.
Yeah, we're in a lot of we've just had this conversation. Positive
Where's
people.
The positivity?
I'm making a 20-mile round trip.
Get a train. Take a load off.
I mean, I want to go, but I've just spent so much money tonight, or will do as soon as
you are going. You know you're going, and you know you're spending some money.
So, just thinking out loud. Not that I'm your accountant, Jeremy.
Virtual Dave's there.
Technically, does it come out of this year's budget? When are they releasing it?
No, you pay for it this year.
This is like PSR rules in football. Let's just look at which year this goes.
But it's not part of the budget because it's for charity again. So it's part of the charity.
No, what charity?
How is this doing your taxes? That charity will be a write-off. You'll get that back.
Or you cancel your 2 pre-orders and you give all the money to Pete as part of his it's for charity.
And I'll buy a fan that I can have around my neck.
With a long extension cord, because it won't be battery powered.
Robert Kopp's already agreed that he now can do it, and he thanks us for our encouragement. It's amazing the power of positive thinking.
Social media positivity. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Proof that
Simon would have loved to have gone, but he's got to pay for the in-demand Haslab Liokaiser.
That was a surprise today. I didn't expect that to come.
What's that? The Haslab?
Yeah.
Oh, we knew it was being revealed. People were talking about it online.
I just completely forgotten about it.
Yeah, I'd seen it. I've seen
tomorrow. So seeing the pictures was like, oh my god.
Yeah, the Haslab thing, they'd hinted at it without giving away a particular date, but there were a lot of people online suggesting it was going to be today. I mean, you don't always believe the online rumors, but in this case, they were right. And as Ed's pointed out, it's time to sign some bots on an 8-year contract, which only makes sense to those of you who are football fans and understand the Chelsea reference there. Bloody cheats. Anyway, Dave suggesting we all give away our firstborn children for charity. No, mine's quite useful. I'm gonna hang on to him. Thanks. I'm gonna. Yeah. The rest of you can. Yeah. That's your choice.
I'm going to Cat's Lair. We're running out of space.
What about no room for children?
Sorry, Maddie. We've got a.
Yeah, I've got a firstborn child. I don't need any more. Thanks ever so much.
Yeah.
I got a Thundercats lair coming. No room in the inn. Difficult choices were made.
I mean, you had a good one. It was quite fun. It was different.
Right. I feel we've reached a natural ending to this show. So thank you very much to everybody who has joined us tonight. Pete, quick reminder again. Did we say we're getting the charity links and things, or trying to get them up over the weekend?
Yeah, they'll all be up over the weekend. Social media accounts, Facebook, everywhere you think you can look.
Twitter, Blue Sky.
Yeah. Leaflets door to door.
Yeah. Have you accepted Mick Holohan's French? Don't leave it. It's fine. We'll sort all that out, Pete. Don't worry about it. Jamie, give them the Twitter handle and everything. I know it's on the thing, but let's do it anyway. Give them the Twitter handle and everything else.
UK, Twitter. That's where you'll find us holding the bastion of Transformer decency and knowledge. We defend all stuff that I like personally.
Yeah. I love, it's Transformers the show account, the amount of times it says, I love this. Speaking for us all. What's the blue sky? Is the blue sky the same?
Andy shares all this third-party news, and I go, that's not going on Twitter.
Not on my watch, sunshine.
Yes.
Just in case Hasbro are watching. What's the blue sky again? Is it basically the same, but blue sky instead?
It's Transformers the show, and it's Storm Toy Photography, because it was getting too much to run all social media accounts, so I just mashed them into one. But we've got links for Paul, Andy, and Pete as well. It's always pinned there, so when you go into there, you can go to the decent people who will embrace you and share third-party stuff. So yes.
Oh, lovely. Lee, if people want to, for some reason, I haven't seen you before and want to follow you and hear more of your wonderful views and see more of your wonderful Transformers, where should they find you?
Mostly Instagram and Blue Sky. So at spider-father.bsky.social. Trying to read it off the screen.
Oh, I should mention the Storm Toy Photography is Instagram. It's for Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is SpiderFather96, and because they don't have a character limit, I can actually write more about an individual figure. So Instagram for the main thing, Blue Sky for the truncated version.
It is worth following Lee as well, because he has some incredible toys, and it's always good to find out about where they came from. He is right. The amount of times you go, I didn't even know that existed. And I'm already very jealous of many of the things you have. Pete, anything you want to add about your socials at this point?
No, you can find me mostly in your dreams. If you need to look at social media, you're not doing it right.
Oh, brilliant. You're right there, Jamie. Just playing with background.
Clicking on the buttons.
I feel like he's bored now, so we'll call an end to it. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We will see you again next Friday for a little bit of Valentine's Day love. And thank you very much, Lee, for joining us tonight, and thank you to my co-hosts as well. We shall catch you all later. Good night.
It's time for Transformers, the show!